Welcome back, everyone, to Talking It Out with Bachelor Nation. Mike, I'm very excited. Do you know why?
Same, man. Yeah, same. For the exact same reason. I woke up this morning so happy and so elated to make it to this point, man.
Well, if y'all haven't kept count, we are celebrating 100 episodes today. Yes. 100th episode. What a milestone. A lot of podcasts don't get to 100. So I'm damn proud of us, bro. What about you?
I'm extremely proud of us, and the growth that we've had and continue to have has been amazing. My entire goal, I don't think I ever told you this either. I wanted to make it to 100. It just was a good number. It's 2 seasons, and it feels really good. It truly, truly does. The growth. It's never about the end goal. It's always about the destination, the journey. And so this journey has been phenomenal.
Yeah, man. It's an amazing milestone. And, just thinking back, like we talked to so many amazing people inside of Bachelor Nation, but also outside of Bachelor Nation. So I kind of just wanted to, reminisce a little bit. I wanted to start off the show and talk about, maybe like a top 3 episodes for you and I. What do you think, man? What episodes stick out? What episodes stick out from the past 100?
First and foremost, for me, I get to tell my mom I spoke to Aaron Brockovich. And
Facts.
We had some really cool conversations, and she is just as spicy as we all love. And that to me has to be my top 3. What about you?
Well, I mean, come on, man. I got to start off with the wifey, got to give respect
of course,
to the queen, Rachel Lindsay. So, obviously we had a great sit down with her and great insight. She's a phenomenal woman, and, I'm blessed. So, she's my number 1.
No, for sure. I'm laughing because I remember you said she's Rachel MF and Lindsay. I was like, talk your talk, man.
Yes, that was a different episode, if y'all remember. But yes, hilarious. that was a great episode. A lot going on during that time.
Definitely. I loved also when we had Zach Clark on. I felt that conversation was so pivotal, so necessary, so much bigger than Bachelor Nation, so much bigger than Talking It Out, so much bigger than the two of us and all the people that helped make Talking It Out what it is. That episode with Zach was so profound for me, and I know it definitely touched someone. And that's the whole point of being able to talk publicly, is to be able to help someone in need. And so I think that episode with Zach was phenomenal.
Absolutely, man. I gotta give special shout out to our first episode, man. Emmanuel Acho. I think that was such an impactful episode for myself as well as everybody. I mean, we were going through some crazy times. There was a lot going on in the world, and he just came on and was like a voice of reason and, and education. I mean, he's done a phenomenal job with everything he's doing on his platform as far as educating the masses when it comes to race relations and racism. And yeah, man, I just love that episode. And he's a great guy.
Since you're gonna take Aaron,
You took Aaron. Yeah, okay?
You're gonna take a minute. We're taking the ease. Okay. So I'm gonna bring it back to Bachelor Nation. I loved when we had Becca and Thomas on. Do you remember how his head was turned the whole entire time staring at Becca?
Yes.
That to me, that image is ingrained in my brain.
It's like, bro, you're making us look bad. Come on.
Really, it was amazing. And then, I mean, Thomas, the beautiful thing about Talking It Out is that we get to talk it out, and you get to hear the perspective of the individual that has went through that in comparison to the way that producers have shown something or the way that you were on TV. Because a lot of times a castmate says that producers is all their fault, but bro, sometimes it's not. And so to have Thomas on, it was great.
Has anybody, I would say maybe Joe, Grocery Store Joe. I mean, him and Thomas have probably had like the biggest redemption arc ever. Like Joe went home night 1 and he is who he is today. And then Thomas went from villain to Bachelor royalty, just like that.
Yes, and it's funny you say Bachelor royalty because isn't that what was said on the beach when they came
in? Yeah, that's why I said it.
He said, that's why I said it. He said, that's why I said it.
But bro, for me, I'm kind of torn when it comes to Bachelor Nation. 2 of them stick out just because this man is an OG. Evan Bass.
Yes.
Just hearing from somebody.
Yes.
I used to watch Bachelor back in the day, and I remember Evan, and I remember his season of Bachelor in Paradise, and his relationship that he had on that season was epic, and everything he did and all the antics he pulled to find love, it was amazing. So just hearing from him, since we hadn't heard from him in a while, that was great. And I'm also torn with Zach Clark.
We picking the same ones. If that was the case, I would have picked Emmanuel too.
Yeah, I mean, I love Clark episode just because he is, discussing things that are, very relevant in today's world, with the addiction and, the fentanyl and all that stuff. So, I think that was a very impactful and important episode for sure. But I'll go with Evan, Rachel, and Emmanuel Acho.
There we go.
Those are my top three, not in that order.
In no particular order, but Rachel's first.
Of course, yes, always. So, Mike, pertaining to today and the show, Bachelor in Paradise, I mean, obviously we saw the latest 2 episodes, and towards the end of that second episode, man, I mean, we had some drama forming.
Yes,
Andrew basically had enough. His heart had enough. His heart was still with Teddy, as he revealed. But prior to that, Jasenia confronted him, got him all emotional, and they were both going back and forth, and Jasenia was expressing herself and how she felt about the whole situation. And NC was getting upset. I mean, it was wild. Everybody, was having a good time, and that pretty much spoiled the party in a sense. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on what you thought about that whole interaction.
First and foremost, that was beautiful for Teddy. Whether she cares or not, it's always cool when someone truly likes you, and when time has passed, you're the one that they desire still. And I think that Andrew definitely tried to move on from that, but he was unable to, unfortunately. And I feel for Yesenia as well, because she had mentioned like the same thing happened to her last year on Paradise. And so I know Yesenia in person. Personally, she's pretty phenomenal. And so I feel bad for her. And NC, I think that she shouldn't have came into the second time. Like, she came in once. He said he'll come back to you. Let it be that. I think that she allowed Kate and maybe some other people that we didn't see get inside of her head. And she should just allow that conversation to take place instead of coming in twice and interrupting.
But do you feel like, I guess, like a part of me is like, Jasenia, like, why? Like, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. It kind of like you see them making out on the dance floor. He's clearly moved on. Like, why even bother? But I get it. She had some feelings there, and she wanted to get those final answers from him, or at least confront him and get a little bit of closure. So I get that at the same time. And then I feel like NC, just like you said, like, I didn't really understand her reaction either. It's like, he clearly was just with you making out on the dance floor. It's not like he's going over there to, get with her again. He simply was giving her the respect. She asked to talk, so he was going to hear her out and, discuss whatever she needed to discuss. And, like, clearly the conversation was not like romantic in any way, right? It was like they were clearly arguing.
You're correct. And you can see that. Like NC say, Andrew is a great guy, right? Yeah. And great guys don't like to be in a position like that. It just sucks. No woman likes to be in a position like that. NC or Jasenia's position, it sucks as well. And so the whole situation wasn't the greatest, but I think that Andrew handled it well. And for Yesenia, I do also agree with you. Baby girl should have just let it be. Like, he's clearly making out with a girl right there. Yeah. And so, but the heart wants what the heart wants.
But listen, I mean, like, think of it from Andrew's perspective. I mean, because like we said, he was making out with NC. He found a spark there a little bit, but his heart was still with Teddy. But when was he going to reveal that? Which I actually want to ask him about that, because it seems like the Jasenia conversation brought that out of him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? Let me be real with you. Let me be real with everybody at this point.
Well, I think that it wasn't this. I don't think that real is the right term to use in this case. I think that she just helped him. I think Yesenia helped Andrew. Yeah. To come to closure and understand. Yeah. And I think
because it seems like that was buried in his heart, and he
didn't even know that it was there. And so she did a phenomenal job of doing that, but that's not what she wanted, that's not what she wanted to do. But that happens though. You know how many times it's happened to yourself or me? Yeah. Like, the person doesn't want me, for this or that. No,
and reason. Like Andrew said, it's not, I mean, I've been in that situation. I'm sure you have too, Mike, where it's like, you're trying your best. You're putting on, the full court press when it comes to courting this person, and their heart is with somebody else, or like they're still hung up on their ex. It's like, you don't want to get into that. Like, you need to let that be, let her flush those feelings out, and then maybe come back in the future. But
I don't like
the
way
force
that
things.
I don't like the way that Yesenia almost put words in Andrew's mouth as if he was trying to lead her on, because I don't feel that he was whatsoever, for the record.
Yeah.
I do not feel that from Andrew. And I think that I mentioned this earlier, and I've learned from watching this show this season that the way that I communicate, if I were to break up with someone, isn't the way that the woman receives it. She may want more of an answer than that I have done in the past. I've done it like every other guy on this season. Hey, I'm, been respectful, not feeling you, and move on. But it seems that like when Yesenia was talking to Andrew, she just had a knot in her chest that she needed to get the answer from, and dug deep, and dug so deep that she found a nugget within Andrew. And I think that was good for Andrew to get out. For that regard. But if I was in Yesenia's position, I would have just personally actions speak louder than words.
I mean, he basically broke up with her on the sands of the beach, and that should have been a wrap right there, in my opinion. I mean, to try to see if there was anything
like
there.
He broke up with her respectfully and everything on the beach.
Yeah, he broke up with her respectfully. I mean, it's never easy. I mean, I don't feel like there's a right way to do that. Somebody's going to get their heart broken regardless.
It's not a right way, but it's definitely a wrong way to do it.
There definitely is a wrong way. Yes,
it's not a right way, but definitely
thank you for clarifying that. Yes, there definitely can be a wrong way. But what other drama on the beach? I mean, to shift gears, I was a little bit annoyed at, Kate once again, basically saying, or this week, she actually said that she wasn't being demeaning in any way or wasn't putting Logan down. And it's like every other scene, it's like, dude's broke, lives with two roommates, can't afford a gym membership. Like, how am I going to see life with this guy? I'm 7 years older. He's not established. So it's like, girl, when you watch his back, it's like, it's going to be right there in your face. Like all the stuff that we're saying.
I don't think Kate will
so?
see it that way. No, I don't feel that she'll see it that way. I feel that she'll see it as, I was being honest with myself. She'll see it as, in her eyes, she is older, which to me doesn't matter. If he's a well stable individual and he's 26, like he ain't 18, and so he's good to go in that regard. I think that Kate is going to look back and say, "I'm so happy that I stood my ground, stood down for what she believes in."
Time out though. Yes, she was honest to herself. Like in every ITM,
was she rude? Like, yes.
No. But was she honest to Logan in that moment where he was like? She basically denied ever saying anything negative about him.
In the moment that you're speaking,
you know what I'm saying?
In the moment that you're speaking of directly right now,
like when she was talking to Logan and he was like, he expressed to her, he's like, I feel like I can't do anything right. Like you're always like kind of putting. I forgot the words exactly that he said, but he's like, essentially, you're like putting me down. It's like, I've never put you down. What are you talking about? It's like, yeah, you have. Come on.
She 100% absolutely has done that. I feel that. I mean, that's her personality, bro. Like that's her personality. So she's shown it time and times a Googleplex times towards Logan. He will need to understand he want to deal with that or not deal with that. That's how I look at it. Like if a person continues to come to me about the exact same issue with the person they're dating, I'm going to say after a certain point in time, you know who you're dating, man. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like with them too, it's just been like miscommunication. Like
if we're going to talk about somebody, we'll finish that thought because now you got me thinking about the show.
No, I was going to say like the whole situation where I forgot her name. What's the, I mean, she basically left the same day. The girl that came on, talked to Logan, wanted to go on the
Lindsay.
Okay. Yeah. Lindsay comes on the beach and basically pulls Logan, is interested in Logan. Apparently the only one that she's interested in there. And when she asked Logan on the date, he's like, I need to speak to Kate first.
Which was the
right thing to do. But then it's like she expected him to not even like entertain that. And it's like, you were literally on a date with Hayden. Like,
well, she spoke about that point,
quote unquote, eons ago. It was 3 days ago. Yeah, like, calm down. Let's not exaggerate. It wasn't eons ago.
Eons, yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't think it was that bad for him to have a conversation. But yes, I get it. Like she thought they were on a different page, but I don't know. I just feel like that that relationship is on the rocks. That's probably the one that's on the
rocks. That relationship's not on the rocks. That relationship's not going to happen.
I agree with you. I just don't. There's
another
just too
relationship
many
that's
obstacles.
not going to happen is Genevieve and Aaron.
Thank you,
baby. How you leaving the second time and then you come like Genevieve? You can't be doing that, baby. Now Aaron, he's definitely a bro. He is definitely. I laugh when I watch Aaron. I'm like, bro.
Bro, it's like nectar when you
like
feel it in
like
the
your
intest. I die sometimes when I hear like the words he says. It's like
it really is funny watching Aaron. Yeah,
he is a funny cat. He is a funny cat. But
he's funny because he's being himself.
I guess the big question, Mike, is I mean the question that everybody has been asking themselves this week is itching pain? I mean that.
I googled that.
Did you Google that? You're like, let me fact check.
Because Aaron was so confident.
Yeah, he said it was a scientific fact. He said it was a scientific fact.
Those two together are just like.
So wait, what did your research? What did you come back with in the research?
I deleted the tab, but I believe it's two different things.
It's two different things.
I believe Serene said it best when she said, "Itching is not pain. Itching is more of a discomfort."
What we're saying is Aaron is wrong.
Yes, what we're saying is Aaron is wrong.
Okay, all right. We're gonna have to talk to Aaron.
But I must say before, I really wish we got a chance to speak to Kate because I highly feel she will defend herself in a lot of these situations. She may or may not. I really don't know. But I think just watching her, she's gonna feel that she did nothing wrong, and I would love for everyone to hear that.
I think
hear
Kate,
her take on herself from herself.
I think Kate, like this show sometimes can be a microcosm for real life, right? The life in the outside world, outside of that Bachelor bubble. And yes, those are valid concerns that many women have in the real world. So I don't blame her for feeling that way. I just disagreed with, when she confronted face to face, like, I did say this about you. I do have these concerns. Like, flush that out there. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you there.
Like, don't say I've never said anything. I've never been demeaning, because clearly you're going to look back and watch all the things you said to all the other girls about him. So I don't know.
So, Bryan, we are celebrating 100 episodes today. And this week, we got Andrew and Rodney. So what better way to celebrate 100 episodes than with two of our favorite guys? Let's talk it out.
Let's bring them on. All right. Welcome, Andrew and Rodney, two of our favorite guys. Yes. You are on our 100th episode. That's why we brought you guys on, because you're our favorites. What's going on?
Hey, congrats, guys. So happy to be here. What's up, y'all?
It's like a family party.
This is a huge honor for me to be on this with you guys.
No, Andrew, we were just talking before, and I wanted to say thank you, man, because you haven't been on another podcast since our interview with you last, which I know makes Bryan us feel so honored.
He's loyal, bro. He's a loyal dude.
Man. I mean, y'all do it right over here. I just had to give back to people that gave to me, man.
No, we appreciate that. Rodney, we got no words for you. You here every other week.
I'm a regular. I'm just happy to be back.
No, we love you, man. How have y'all been since the show? To watch you two specifically has been
bro, these last couple weeks
hard to say.
It's been a lot.
Yeah.
How you guys doing, man? Talk to us.
The first couple months, after it was probably just kind of wrapping your head around everything. But now I think can't speak for Rodney, but for myself, I just kind of focused on me. And since then, man, I've just been doing really well. I think I'm in the best shape of my life right now. Like I said, we were talking about it.
I'd love to hear that.
Through October. Just got in the weight room, man, and just got back at it. So I'm feeling 100% right now.
There you go.
Wait, is that because you're single? You're, getting ready?
Yeah, I'm single, man. I'm ready to go full on with the Bachelor life. I feel like I was always looking over my shoulder, just preparing to just do the paradise thing. I didn't want any mishaps or slip ups. So now that's, I've done everything I needed to do with the franchise. So now I'm just like,
wait, I gotta dig deeper into that. Rodney, we're gonna get to you in a second. Andrew, with that, what you just said, since you came off of being on The Bachelorette, you were kind of always in like hey, I might go on Paradise. Let me make sure I be good and like not date anybody, not date around.
Bro, okay. Absolutely. I wanted to just do things right. Make sure it's a clean, I'm going to give this a shot. I knew I was going to go on just to get the full experience of everything. And then whatever happens from there, I was like serious. I was just like, this is the one thing that I want to get to Paradise and I want to do it right. So I wasn't like going around talking to a bunch of girls. As soon as I got off the Bachelorette, I was, I didn't want to be on a TikTok as well. So I was just, just keep my nose down, man. And it was just good. I was patient then, and I almost just said I ain't going, and I'm just gonna hit up somebody and be like, yo, let's just screw paradise.
That being said,
but I stayed patient.
See, that's the way to do it, man. You gotta like just cut everybody off prior, like months prior, before you do anything, because it can come back to bite you, as we've seen in the past.
Exactly.
And Rodney, for you, man, I think the entire Bachelor Nation came together for the record is an amazing thing. Anytime human beings can come together for a cause is absolutely phenomenal, and we all do that. They did that for you. How does the love feel, man, that you receive outpouring love from Bachelor Nation after your sad departure?
Man, it's an honor and a blessing. Like, I'm just so grateful for all the love and support that I received. Honestly, I'm happy that it's kind of over for me on there. I think we talked about it so much that it's a lot easier to watch the show when you're not on it anymore, because when you're on it, you just look at yourself and you're always your biggest critic, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I look like this right now, or I sound like this, or anything like that. It's always a tough variable to look at in that aspect, in that lens. But man, I'm so happy it's all over for me, and just it was tough reliving it, tough watching it, but I'm so grateful for all the love and support. I just couldn't believe I knew I got that from my cast. I didn't even know the extent until Andrew came back home, and it was like, man, it was crazy after you left. I swear, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, you'll never understand. It was so insane. I couldn't believe it. I never knew the extent. He kind of warned me, but I never knew the extent until I seen my castmates and what they went through after I left and everything. And I think it was a collective overall, just everybody. We've been through so much. We went through so much on that beach together. And I think that heartbreak specifically, that was kind of the breaking point for a lot of people. So yeah, it was myself and what I gave to the group and all my energy and us together, me and Andrew trying to lift everybody's spirits on a daily basis. But I think it was once you take out a key part, which all of us were, it just hurt. And I think it hurt for everybody. And it was just kind of the breaking point, and not to say it was just me, but I think it was the collection of everything that happened to us on that beach together as a family. And to be honest, I'm just glad it's over with, so I could just move on with my life.
You must have had such an impact, man, because Mike, like, remember, it's like I was watching the preview and I was like, oh damn, they hit him with another split week.
Yeah.
Something went down, some crazy drama. It's like, no, Rodney got sent home. I was like, holy shit. I mean, first off, hashtag Rodney for Bachelor.
Rodney
all
for
right.
Bachelor.
Rodney for Bachelor. Okay. We're going to put that out there into the universe because this man deserves
100%.
it. But man, I want to ask you, Andrew, like, what is it about this man that just brought all that emotion out to the beach? I mean, I know he described it a little bit there, but like from your perspective and, after he left.
I think one of the things biggest for me, I can't speak for everyone else, is I see a lot of myself in Rodney. And so like, it's like, it was like, I was hurting all over again because my situation, and it's just like, it was like, I got to see his situation. I'm like, no, this can't be happening. And on top of that, you start hearing the words he was saying about himself. Like, he's embarrassed. And I was just like, this can't happen to a guy who's been the one uplifting all our spirits. When things were going bad for me, like, this dude was the one that was giving me a pep talk. Him, Michael, and Justin but they were really adamant about getting me out of a funk. And, just to see him go through that, and then I not getting the chance to be able to talk to him because he has to leave. I was like, whoa.
I said, no, that's one of my core pillars. I need that.
Yeah. Like, hold on. Let me have a conversation with him first before you put him in a car and he has to sit in an hour ride back to Dante with his thoughts, you know what I mean? And not be able to decompress. So I was just like really hurt about that. I actually threw a little tantrum about that. I was like, you can't let him get in the car like that. He didn't talk about. So I was like, it's mental health. Like, I went on. That was just like it was like the tipping point for me. I just want to see like happiness, and I want to see love, and I love, watching everyone's love story. I'm a big like romantic comedy movie, whatever you want to. So I was invested in a lot of these relationships, just from hearing the stories and us talk about it every night and every day. We wake up about our journey. So I was really a part of it. And everyone's like, he didn't die. I'm like, we know he didn't die. Like,
no, it's just, Andrew, you have a huge, huge heart, and you're an empath. And so I know that personally. And it was awesome to see you fight for your homie like that. It truly was.
Yeah, man. You just never want to see anyone like that, especially someone that brings so much to everyone else. And, you know, we couldn't really do anything for him. You know what I mean? At the time. So that was kind of heartbreaking for us.
Rodney, I got a question for you. And I want to speak to this because it's from all four of us love you, man. And we just want the best for you. I hit you up personally, just was so proud of you, honestly. But I was tagged in something on Twitter today, and the person kind of was basically saying, if I'm incorrect, individual, don't get mad at me. They were kind of saying, like, why is Rodney getting such a beautiful outpour and shine when he did the exact same thing to Lace? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I've seen some of those comments as well. And to be honest, like, at the end of the day, I'm always going to take any type of criticism. As much love as I get, I'll take the same amount of criticism as well. And so, yeah, with at the time down there on the beach, my relationship with Lace, to be honest, I think everybody knows this down on the beach who was there with me. It didn't compare to what I had with Eliza. Mm-hmm. It was a completely different level. And like I said, with Lace, and I'm glad that I did get to address this at the reunion. But yeah, with Lace, she's an amazing person. It was nice getting to know her, but she was still a pleasant surprise. I did not know Lace. I was not aware of Lace before I stepped on that beach. Mm-hmm. Had no idea who she was or that she was even there. So it was really a pleasant surprise. Whereas on the flip side, obviously I knew of Eliza, and Eliza was by far clear and away the top of my list. Mm-hmm. And I knew at some point that she would be there. And just like Andrew mentioned earlier, we're guys, like, we want to obey the rules. We don't want any mishaps or anything like that. So I was like, I'm saving all my energy for when I see Eliza at the beach, and I'm giving her my all, because I would love to have that love story, just like the alumni that we've seen before who are successful in this franchise. And we knew the potential of that. And that's why we came there with hopeful hearts, and we're both hopeless romantics. And so that's why I just want to be honest with you guys here and now, just letting everybody know, hey, with Lace, it was amazing getting to know her. I didn't know who she was until I stepped down on the beach. I knew who Eliza was. I knew that I wanted her, and I knew that I was going to fight for her and give her my all at the time.
So, question for you, and you know I love you personally as my brother, but we have a job to do. So with that being said, do you feel that you should have told Lace, or do you feel that it's more like, hey, Eliza was my number one, but I never knew who Lace was, so therefore I did like Lace, and I wanted to see what happened with that? What would you say to that?
Yeah, so I let that be known, and I'm glad that, once again, I'm glad that we addressed that at the reunion. I did let her know the day of split week. I mean, it was right at the 11th hour, to be honest with you, but it was probably about 15, 20 minutes before Jesse Palmer pulled us, and we had no idea what was going to happen next. But I did make sure I had a conversation with her. I said, hey, it does seem like you and I are getting closer, which is nice. I'm glad that we're taking this time together, but I do want to be honest with you. If Eliza walks down, I do want to take a date with her, because she is the only person. She was the number one on my list.
Better late than never. Better late than never.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, I couldn't believe everything happens for a reason, and I never forget having that speech. And I'm so glad that Lace remembered that, and we talked about it at the reunion. We admitted that to each other, and she's like, yes, Rodney did let me know Eliza, if she was the one that walked down those steps, he would go try to see where that went. And so I'm glad that we had that discussion. So I did let her know.
That's it, bro. That was a stand-up move right there, for sure.
The man is just a king. Andrew, like, yeah, Andrew is just a king.
We're honest good guys, I promise.
You are.
Andrew, just like Eliza, was at the top of Rodney's list, it seems obviously that Teddy was on the top of your list. And then the whole situation went down where she basically self-eliminated and went home. I mean, how did that affect you moving forward in Paradise and your other relationships moving forward with all the other women?
I would say it's like a real life breakup. You got your friends and they want you to get back out there and try to, date some more, or you can sit there and sulk. And, I did about all of it. I don't think everyone got a chance to see that. I mean, no one wants to, put on the screen me sulking and being in the background at being very, social. So I went through all of the emotions of a breakup, man. I there were bad days for me. There were good days. I was very thankful of the, and I said all the time to the women that I was involved with, I was like, hey, I'm not all the way there yet. I'm still like not feeling all the way there. I'm gonna give you everything I got. It's just not a lot right now.
Did you know what it was though?
No, I didn't know until I had a talk with Michael A. Not gonna lie to you, long talk with Michael.
When was that talk?
Michael A's just got all these stories, man, and he's talking about how don't let pride get in the way of something great. And I was like, because I'm like, after Casey's and when I did the whole I want to be chosen thing, like that's who I am. Like I've always been like that. Once I get dumped, I'm like, all right, well, next thing. But like something was like, he talked to me about this, and I'm just like, I don't think we got the shot that we really wanted to. You know what I mean? And so I just couldn't get it out of my head, man. I was just every day. I just felt like I wasn't at my best. I just don't think that environment was for us, was the best for us. Not saying that, maybe she wasn't interested. She could have been very well not interested. But I just, for me, I just felt like in different circumstances, maybe a different date, maybe just any little thing where I can go off substance and just kind of have a little something, we could have made a different, path. But at the same time, I don't think she likes being in that situations. And, that's fine. And, there's nothing I could do about it. All I could do was continue to try to, find something with this person who I wanted to find something with, since the get. So that was very tough. But,
two parts for that. One, thank you for sharing that, because
awesome.
Just as someone that I have a lot of respect for personally, it was hard to see that on TV. One being, have you reached out to Teddy?
I was about to ask that.
Well, I do talk about it at the reunion. But yeah, I did. I mean, we shared, a couple texts, nothing serious. I just really wanted to just get a chance to, conversation with her. I just want to be friends at the end of the day. Like, we went through this experience together. We spent some time together. We laughed a lot together. So I just don't want her to just completely just be out of my life in that way, in that manner. And just like so shut down. And, I also wanted to just be there for her. I know that it wasn't the toughest time for her or the easiest time for her on the show, and just let her know that, you still have a friend in me. You still have an ally. Like, you're not by yourself. And that was just pretty much it.
What is that from?
So is that romantic door? Is that romantic
Toy Story?
door?
That's Toy Story.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Brian.
Is that romantic door closed then? I mean, is there a slight possibility possibly in the future of you guys, maybe rekindling things?
I don't think I would ever reach out to her again. I think I did that. I think that was it. But if I ever met her like in an organic place, and we have a couple of chats, I guarantee I'd be a lot better than I was on the beach, and I would be a lot smoother, and I would definitely shoot my shot again. But
there you go.
Anything over social media, over text, there's no way I would, reach out. It'd be coming from her if she, felt the need to, and I would say no.
Fair enough. Rod, a lot was made, my man, about Eliza choosing you and then letting you down the following day instead of letting you down right away if that's the route you wanted to take. I mean, how did you feel, with that roller coaster of emotions that went down, between from one day to the next? And like, would you have preferred her to just kind of not giving you the rose that night?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I talked all night long with Andrew, Michael, and obviously even Justin. And like Justin and I, that last final night, had a ton of conversation, had a ton of talks together. Just like, hey, in our opinion, either one was a win-win for her. We're two great guys. And I think a lot of us agreed on that. We were both great men and great options for her at the time. And we were both ready to get our heart broken in that moment. And so I'm always the type of person, I hope for the best and I expect the worst, just in case, to kind of protect my own heart and mental health. And so, yeah, even though we're both confident men. So we're like, okay, I think it's going to be me, but if it's not, we're preparing for that. And so that night we were both prepared to not receive that rose. And so once I got the rose, I was like, okay, cool. The nightmare's over with. Now, you guys saw my conversations with Andrew, you saw my conversation with Brandon, and I was happy. I was on cloud nine, and I was just so ready to move on with my relationship and start my new life with Eliza back in LA. And I was so excited to move on. And so the fact that me thinking that the nightmare is over, and it's like, nope, you still got one last step to go through, and it's going to be the toughest because it's all over. Just like that, just like when you.
And that's a big thing that I knew about. And like seeing that and hearing those conversations leading up to it, that's what's like, oh shit, this makes you want to, drip a little bit. So
that's where all the emotion came from.
That's
basically
where all the emotion came from, man. It all happened in that one day. And everyone's like, they're still crying. Well, that's still the same day. Like it wasn't like it wasn't like 3
Hours
days
later.
of us mourning. It was literally one long day, and we just couldn't shake it. So
it was a tough one, and I we didn't compliment Andrew enough because this man brought up my spirits so many times. Like we would go back and forth, okay? And that's like when he was down, I would try to bring his spirits up, and
you had each other to lean on.
Spirits. That's
bro,
what I'm saying.
literally,
so
literally, he was my bunkmate, like right next to me. And bro, we were the last ones out of the room, and I'd just be like, bro, I can't go out there.
No.
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, man. I don't even know what I'm doing. He's like, bro, just stay patient. There's hope. You can still find it. Just keep going. Stay the course. I'm just like, bro, I got to come out here, bro. Hey, I'm telling you, every day I stared up at the ceiling at the top bunk, and I just contemplated just going home. But at the end of the day, people don't understand the rules. If I reject a rose, that person has to go home too, who gave me the rose, who offered the rose. So like at the end of the day, like I'm ruining someone else's shot, and with Jasenia, I never told her that, she has to be with me. You know what I mean? Like there were plenty of guys that came on the beach. I was still going to try for her. But I never said she like had to be this. And I never like begged for a rose or anything like that. I was just like, all right, I'm at this pace and I'm going to try to get to where I need to get to, where I can feel comfortable with this relationship moving forward. Like at the end of the day, like I gave out one rose, man. There were 4 rose ceremonies I was part of. I only gave out one, and that was to Teddy. So at that point, like you'll see at the end of the episode where she's saying you're hopping from girl to girl to girl. I'm like, no, I just kept getting like laid off, like dumped pretty much.
Specifically, what you're speaking to is when Yesenia had said, Andrew, you went from Teddy to Brittany to her, Yesenia, and then as NC. What is your thoughts of that? I want to give that one rose.
I didn't jump. Like I said, I only gave out one rose. I was on my way out, man. I'm telling you, these guys literally, they cornered me and they told me, you have to stay here. You never know what you can find. Don't quit. You know the kind of man you are. You're not going to quit early. You can still find hope down here. And I was like, all right, bet. I love that. Because that's the kind of man I want to be. I want to go to my kids and be like, hey, you can't quit. You just started. You know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. I'm never going to be on the beach again. I don't know. You know what I mean? So these opportunities are very like slim. And so I'm here now. I might as well see it through. And if I don't get a rose, totally fine with me, man. I'll go home. I'll lick my wounds. I'll go home. I kept getting roses, and I just kept going at the pace and trying to build on something. I was actually going to leave after the Rodney thing. I was done.
Did you say that?
And I thought it was a rose. Yes, I told her that.
That's the thing.
I told her on the day I went on the date with Incy, I was like, I was gonna go. Like I had no idea it's coming down here. Like these events I didn't plan for. Like people act as if like I planned for these things to happen. They didn't. It just happened. And then the Incy thing, I was like, oh wow, I feel something here. Let me explore it. I'm here right now. Might as well. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of how it went, man.
Was there some type of like miscommunication between you and Jasenia? Because it seems like every time we heard Jasenia talk on the episode, it was like she was obviously way more into you than you were into her. And it's like, I don't want to say the words let on, but like she seemed like maybe thought that you guys were on the same page. Like, were you in constant communication? Like you just mentioned,
always,
like, were you in constant communication, letting her know where she stood?
Absolutely. I mean, here's the thing about, being an athlete, you the one thing that you talk about is the eye in the sky never lies. So it's always on camera. So the truth always will come out if they choose to show it. So every encounter that we had, I had one night where I was like, I'm going to give it everything I got. I'm going to show her, I'm going to give her the appreciation for her being patient with me. I'm going to do a date for her. We did this, coconut smoochie thing from Just Go With It, which we had to work up the coconut to the mouth. So that was really fun. We had a good night. And, I expressed to her, I was like, thank you for being patient with me. I'm still moving along very slow. That's what I told her. And then the next day, Rodney thing happened because that was a roast ceremony. So it's like, I didn't plan for these things to happen. It just did.
I got a question for both of you guys because two of the ladies that are in question, they're not here right now to say their piece, and I don't want to go further with that because I respect those women as well. What would y'all say?
Absolutely.
Because, I spoke to Rod offline, I've also spoke to Tyler, and I kind of got from the two of you, all the guys were trying so hard to just not be that guy, like not be a bad guy. Is that true?
In a way, man, you have to understand, man, we live in this like society where you're like walking on eggshells a little bit. You know what I mean? And I've always been raised to be respectful of women.
But is it harder in this position?
I respect women to the utmost.
1,000%.
I
can't even imagine.
Dude, it sucks.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
We are good men. We are good men. I believe everyone on that beach is good men. But I feel like we're in a situation now sometimes that we just like feel like we're simps. We're extra simps because we don't want to say anything bad or do anything bad.
Your words, not mine.
Yeah, dude, I'm an extra simp on the show compared to me. Like, I'm not a nice guy. I like to say I'm a good guy.
Okay.
There's a difference between those two. So it's extremely challenging, but like I said, we hold up the women to the.
Rodney, would you have anything to say to that?
No, I disagree. Like there's so many times on that beach where it felt like we were in a lose-lose situation. Yeah. And, it's almost like I remember we started calling it the Bachelorettes of Paradise. Because I didn't hand out one rose. I was there for the majority of the season. I didn't hand out one rose. Yeah. And so it for me, obviously, that's just like a side note, but I was trying everything I could to just do my best. Yeah. And like in every situation, I know we are good guys. And I'm glad hopefully that's portrayed enough that everyone understands that. But there's so many times where I just felt like it was a lose-lose, no matter who I was talking to or whose heart I wasn't trying to break or just trying to be the right person, the right time.
No, I get that. From being on the beach myself and kind of being in y'all's position of like the person that I wanted wasn't there at the time that I was there. For me, I just wanted to go home immediately because like y'all, I was like, I don't want to be viewed in any way bad in anyone's eyes whatsoever. So the question that I have for you guys is this. For the men and the beautiful ladies that come on to the show, Bachelor in Paradise, the next few seasons, what do you do when your number 1, 2, and 3 is not there, but you are liking someone? Like, what do you do in those positions?
I'd say real quick, just communicate. Just make sure you communicate everything, just like we said. The majority of the questions coming right now, it's like, did you communicate that with her? Absolutely. Yes, we did. And absolutely. Is it always shown? No. However, advice for anyone moving on in the future, if your number 1, number 2, number 3 isn't there, let the person know who's interested in you. Let them know. Like, hey, you're a pleasant surprise. Didn't know about you. I'm glad we're connecting now. This was my list. If she comes down, I would like to take a date with her if that's okay with you. Just want to be honest and straightforward. That's it.
The truth will set you free.
That's exactly it. And don't try to have a scheme for it, man. Like just be you in that moment and how you would react to it, and it'll work out.
And Rodney, man, I mean, Andrew, he's in the shy, he's single, he's, getting all swole. What's up with you, man? Like, where do you stand as of now? Are you single? You having a good time? Rooming with Nate? What's going on?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely single, but I mean, still right now, I'm keeping to myself as much as possible. I think, especially after reliving this, watching this, and everyone's seeing it now. You know, it happened for me months ago, and now I had to relive it and all that stuff. So I'm like, oh my God. So for everyone else, it's brand new, it's fresh, and I'm just keeping to myself. You know, I just want to take some time to continue to figure out me, be my best self, so I could prep and be ready for whenever my person's out there, and just stay hopeful, stay patient. But yeah, I'm definitely single, and people are like, the DMs open. I'm like, trust me, the DMs are open. They're flooded, like whatever. You know, I can't even keep up. I can't keep up with them. I'm like, oh, thank you. I can't keep up with it. I'm like, yo, DM is not like the best way to reach me is in person. So if you're not, I don't know what to say or what to do. It's just a lot. I'm grateful, but it's like,
but I'll take it, bro. My car drive, by the way.
No, it's just like
I'm not after this episode, Andrew.
I'm telling you,
just wait.
I'm single. I'm keeping to myself right now and just seeing what's best for me.
No, I love that. Real quick question before we let you guys go, because you know you guys are both, Andrew, hot commodities, and DMs are flooded for both of you. Let's start this question off with you, Rodney. Before we let you guys go, what is something that you know you're truly looking to do in your life while you're out in LA? Like, what can we expect from Rodney in the near future?
Yeah, I think something for me that I'm excited about, I keep telling everybody, is I really want to get into real estate. I think that'd be really cool for me to do. I think that'd be something that would be a new passion for me. Mm-hmm. I bought my first home out here in California a few years back, and that was such an exciting, thrilling process. And I hope to learn more about real estate and the market, and just see if I could bring that thrill into someone else's life as well, and just kind of help them like buy their dream house or buy their first home or first property or anything like that. That's something that's exciting for me. So while I'm out here in LA, I want to continue networking and building connections and doing what I can to kind of be in that space and grow.
Well, Rodney, I know that you're amazing at that.
You're going to be phenomenal
all the connections out there in LA, man.
Absolutely.
And we got some Bachelor Nation alum who do real estate as well. I'm sure you're already connected with. So, yes. You know, more power to you. And Andrew, what about you, man? How was the coaching, and you know, what do we expect from you in your future?
So right now, man, I'm at a crossroads, man. I have to make one of the biggest decisions in my life. You know, I just got offered to be in the school full time as in admissions, and you know that's a really big boy job.
Congrats!
Being able to just kind of hunker down and you know become that stability that I've always wanted, that I never had as a father figure in my life. So I think that's huge. But at the same time, you know, you're juggling this.
I'm an influencer.
Life that you're now new to. You know, I think I got an opportunity, me and the boys, we get to MC the college football championship game concert. So we get to just kind of hang out there.
Wow.
And honestly,
amazing.
Man, I'm moving out to LA for 3 months to see if there's something there. If not, I'm coming back home and doing staying home and doing the job there. I'm trying to be like I'm trying to be like Rachel Lindsay. Honestly, I would love to have
everybody wants to be like Rachel.
She's a good role model to follow, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to be like Rachel Lindsay.
Everyone wants that, Andrew. Andrew, a question for you. With what you just said, can you afford a membership at Equinox?
Honestly, I don't. When I look at housing, I always look for gyms inside the house because it makes no sense to go.
Home gym.
Smart.
Yeah, home gym. That's where it's at.
You smart. You smart.
Yo, before we let you guys go, Paradise Reunion coming up. Y'all are gonna be there. What can we expect? Can we drop a little little preview for the audience out there?
Fireworks.
Fireworks.
It's gonna be wild.
That was probably one of the. That was. Man, none of it was produced. I can tell you that.
we actually asked a previous guest, who can we expect the biggest fireworks from? Like, who were you guys surprised to see fireworks come from?
I mean, I think we all know where the fireworks are coming from.
Yeah.
Big, just you'll see.
All I can say is it's wild. It's going to be crazy, and there's going to be a lot of madness going on. That's all I can say.
Snap.
Both of y'all have been phenomenal. Thank you guys.
Rod, appreciate you guys.
You know, if I ever move out to, the Cali area, you'll be the first and the only person I hit up.
I'm Andrew, recruiting everybody at this point.
I want to kick it with you, man. Andrew, we haven't been able to kick it.
Bro, we did. I think we hung out one time.
We did, but then COVID happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, then COVID happened.
Well, we got to get back at it, man. We got to get back at it.
We'll make it happen. But
right, both of you, I expect you guys to come in, get adjusted, get a little treatment.
There you go, Brian.
You got a chiropractor in town,
serious.
so
Wait,
come through.
Where are you at? You in LA?
Yeah, LA, baby. Wilshire off Wilshire and San Vicente. Yeah, bro. Come through.
Brian, sign me up, man. I need to be over there.
Brian, I have to ask the doctor, and then we'll let you guys go because I want y'all's opinion on this too. Is itch pain?
I don't know. Apparently, Aaron did some research.
Yo, eczema, I'm sure probably hurts when it's itchy. I don't know. I would say it's probably low level pain.
Low level pain. There you go.
If anything, it's low level pain.
All right. Hey, there we go. We're gonna leave it with that right there. You're gonna leave it with that. Hey, love you guys, man. Y'all are truly some phenomenal guys.
Congratulations again, guys.
Congrats, guys. Shout out to you guys. 100 episodes. I heard most podcasts don't even make it past 50. So for you guys, 100 episodes is a huge honor.
I'm gonna send a champagne bottle to you guys.
Yeah.
Send us a Brian. Next time Brian's party, so we need him to
celebration in LA coming soon, man.
Let's do it. Appreciate you guys. Oh man, that was fun, bro.
It really was.
I love those guys.
It really was. It was just great to talk it out. Truly was our namesake.
It's like a couple of boys just chopping it up. I love it. And they, I mean, those guys are like really good dudes. Like, I mean, we talked about that whole situation about, being on the beach and trying to be a good guy, but those guys, like, through and through, like, you could see what's in their heart, and they're great guys. So, I wish them nothing but the best. The world is their oyster, and, they're going to be doing big things in the future.
For sure, definitely so.
So once again, a big shout out to Andrew and Rodney for being here, and make sure, guys, to tune in next week for the season finale of Bachelor in Paradise. It's going down next Monday and Tuesday on ABC, or stream it on Hulu. And to everybody who listened to this episode, we love you. 100 in the books. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you guys so much for tagging me on Twitter. I asked the question. We truly appreciate all the DMs, the messages, the likes, the comments. So make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at Talking It Out, B as in Bachelor, N as in Nation on IG. And as always, continue to hit up Andrew and Rodney in the DMs. But before you do that,
slide in.
Make sure you guys subscribe to Talking It Out. Love y'all.